The Jewish leaders in their trial of the Lord Jesus had found him guilty of blasphemy because he said that he is the Son of God. They took him to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, to try to get the Romans to convict and execute him. But there's no way that the Romans would execute for blasphemy, so they had to think up some different charges. Their story for Pilate was that Jesus misled the nation, told them not to pay tribute to Caesar, the Roman emperor, and that he said that he himself was Christ, the king. It seems that Pilate knew well enough that the first two charges were false, but he asked Jesus about the third. Was he the king of the Jews? Well, Jesus confirmed that he is. But Pilate knew, it seems, enough about him to know that he didn't threaten Roman rule. He told the Jewish leaders that he considered Jesus innocent. So they added to their accusations. They claimed that he stirs up the people, teaching from Galilee to Jerusalem. Then Pilate thought that this might just give him a way out of having to deal with the problem. We'll read Luke 23, verses 6 to 16. When Pilate heard this, he asked whether the man was a Galilean, and when he heard that he belonged to Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him over to Herod, who was himself in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was very glad, for he'd long desired to see him, because he'd heard about him, and he was hoping to see some sign done by him. So he questioned him at some length, but he made no answer. The chief priests and the scribes stood by, vehemently accusing him. And Herod, with his soldiers, treated him with contempt and mocked him. Then, arraying him in splendid clothing, they sent him back to Pilate. And Herod and Pilate became friends with each other that very day, for before this they'd been at enmity with each other. Pilate then called together the chief priests and the rulers and the people and said to them, "You brought me this man as one who was misleading the people. And after examining him before you, behold, I did not find this man guilty of any of your charges against him. Neither did Herod, for he sent him back to us. Look, nothing deserving death has been done by him. I will therefore punish him and release him." Well, was Jesus from Galilee? Yes, he was. And Pilate had a let out. Let someone else sort this out. Galilee was under King Herod's jurisdiction, not his. And given that the Lord Jesus was being accused of stirring up the people in Galilee, that surely made it Herod's problem. Now, King Herod was the man who had executed John the Baptist, and who at one time thought that Jesus might be John come back to life. So let Herod deal with this, thought Pilate. And to make it easy, King Herod was there in Jerusalem at that time. Pilate sent the Lord Jesus with his accusers to Herod. Herod was very pleased to see Jesus. He wanted to see a miracle. So Herod questioned him, but Jesus gave no answer and no miracle either. The chief priests and scribes kept up their accusations. Herod couldn't actually find any basis for him to punish the Lord Jesus. So he and his soldiers mocked him, treated him badly, and sent him back to Pilate. I can't imagine that Pilate was pleased to see the Lord Jesus and his accusers come back to him, but back they came, and the problem became his again. He calls together the chief priests and the rulers who brought Jesus to him, but he also includes the ordinary people who were around then. He tells them that he doesn't find Jesus guilty of any of their charges, and he notes that Herod didn't either, because he'd sent him back. But as a concession to the Jews, Pilate would punish Jesus, then he'd let him go. Perhaps that would satisfy the people, even if it didn't satisfy their leaders. We'll see. Here's something for us to think about. Pilate chose not to stand up to the Jewish leaders. He knew that Jesus was innocent. First, he tried not making a decision at all. Then he tried to compromise. Justice wasn't important to him.